All right,
Put
welcome
Lewis
back.
in a little cubicle.
Hey, put me in a cubicle. You're in a cubicle.
Soundproof.
Well, your cubicle is going to be, it's problematic for me. It's problematic because you and Jeff talk to each other, and you're not allowed to talk anymore. That's going to be what's going to happen.
Well, that's going to be a blessing if Jeff doesn't speak.
See, now there you go. I've got to go take you down to Shannon now because you made that comment. What's wrong with you? All right. We're doing a little training, a little legal training here. We're available here all week. I'm Louis Amestoy, host of the Bacon Motorsports Power Hour. And you know what? This was my 5th March meet since I've been here.
Wow.
So I've been to all of them since 2012, and I just get more and more comfortable, and I'm starting to understand the sport maybe a little bit. So and thank God for guys like Dar Hawthorne and even Jason Galvin was there too to help out a little bit with us, and it was good to have him there. So it's just amazing every year. I respect the sport because those guys work hard Monday through Friday, and then for fun they go and work hard, and that's kind of like how Mike and I approach it. Like, we work hard Monday through Friday, and then we go out and we spend all weekend in that camper doing stuff and posting as much as we possibly can for, and just kind of fun.
Yeah, and Mike gets to clean the trailer beforehand, and Mike
after,
gets to clean the trailer after.
And I just leave, and that's perfect. That's the way it's going. That's probably an issue we're going to have to talk to Shannon about. All right, the March meet, Good Vibrations March meet. Blake, I know you're probably disappointed some with maybe the crowd issues that didn't, because of the weather and everything, but it was still a spectacular event as usual, and so many positive comments. I met guys from Australia who were there, and they just, they were in heaven. They just loved it every second of it.
There was, in fact, you mentioned earlier about my dad in the souvenir stand. I jumped in there once in a while, and everyone that walks up with an accent, I jokingly say, "Hey, where are you from? Texas?"
Yeah.
And they just laugh.
Right.
No, but that's my way of finding out, because I have a hard time telling Kiwis and Australians and Brits apart, and so they go, I'm from Great Britain, or I'm from, so that lets me find out where they're from.
Here's an issue. I want to partner with you on this next year. Matt, keep this note in note. So one of the Australian guys says, it'd be cool if there was like an event for us to, hang out at. I'm like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
We could do like some kind of event for them. And
Right.
Because
an international gathering.
Yeah, international. If you're coming to the March meet, we're going to have an event. Because, the Smokers reunion, I thought, was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was huge. But I'd be curious to know how many people are there. I mean, this was an uncle and a nephew that were there together, and they had a great time.
Yeah, and it's Canada and it's Mexico and it's
it could be Sweden and Germany,
Europe, all over Europe. Yeah, it's just it's amazing.
All right, well,
it really is.
And it's just one of those things. There's so much stuff that goes on in association with this event that you probably can't even keep track of it all. But
and that's why
fun.
we want so bad to finish the event that weekend, because they flew here.
Right.
They have to go home this week, and if we can't finish it, we finish it this coming weekend, they miss it.
Right.
And people walk up. This is I'm checking off my bucket list.
Absolutely.
They may never come back ever again, but we completed that event for them, so they can check it off, and now we can move on.
Absolutely.
So that in that respect, it's really satisfying that we can get it in, and all that goes to the support of, again, all the crew out there and the other tracks that showed up and helped, and just without them, there's no way.
Right. Speaking of satisfying and impressive, was Chris Crabill all weekend long. Griff sets a national record for quickest.
Right.
Yeah, got it right.
Yeah, your lapse time is quick.
Yeah. And I mean, just was on point. So he wins the Funny Car Championship. Let's go ahead and go to the video of Chris Crabill talking to Mike Griffith after his big win and the 2016 Good Vibrations March meet.
Mike Griffith with the Bakersfield, California, here with Chris Crabill, who took the March meet by storm, setting a national record en route to his second win. Chris, how's it feel?
Feels pretty good. I give it a lot of credit to my team. Bucky was on the tune-up along with Hank Johnson, and I was able to do my job, and the results paid dividends.
You had a pretty good qualifying effort. First round, kind of a little off pace. What did you do to get back on track?
We just kept working on the engine and clutch combination and getting it right. And, once those last 2 runs, it just worked well, and we were on all 8, and it hauled ass.
How close was that final race?
I don't know. I didn't see him until he came by me after the finish line, which at that point I'm okay. He can go by me.
You won in 2011 back here. How's this feel to come through this field?
It feels great because I thought I would never win here again. Or I did think, but this track's given me a challenge over the last few years. So this is a prestigious race, and I want to thank Good Vibrations, Dayton Superior, Bucky's Automotive, and Benchmark RV, and all the people that help us. At Bart All, of course. So thank you very much.
And obviously, earlier in the day, everybody knew that Jason Rupert went 5.59 back there. You come out with a 5.52. That's got to feel sweet.
It does. Jason's had my number for the last couple of years. He's been the car to beat, and but I feel we're there now, and that's a wonderful thing. And they're great racers, and they deserve everything. They don't win championships or nothing. So, but it does feel good to get the record and get the win here at the March meet.
And we'll be seeing you back in October, right?
Absolutely.
Well, that was Mr. Griffith interviewing Chris Crabill on his 2016 March Meet Funny Car Championship. Did you get even a chance to watch that race at all?
I did.
Yeah.
Usually I sneak out there for the finals. By then I'm done with all my other stuff. And
I didn't know how to pick it. I thought Densham was going to get it, but it seemed like the lane choice for Crabill. That lane was hot. The Auto Club lane was hot all weekend. I don't know, Mike. What do you think?
I think both lanes were good.
They were pretty good.
Although Densham had preferred to run the left lane, but he ran 560s all weekend. He ran 560s in the right lane. The problem is 560s wasn't quick enough.
Wasn't good enough. Yeah.
And that's the state of the evolution of the sport.
Right.
Where he's running 560s, low 560s, and he can't win.
Yeah.
Because the guy's ripping off a 555. So So there you have it. I think that just makes it exciting.
And that takes us back to the original question from the last segment is when are we too quick? And I don't think we're too quick for those kind of cars. We're too quick for the guys that show up, and running in the fives is a big deal for them. And typically if we have the 32 car show there, the cars on property, 16 can run this number and 16 can't. That's going to be what we need to face pretty soon here. The challenge in that is I got to figure out how I have two purses.
Right.
Because I got to take these 16 guys, let them run 580s, 590s, and these 16 over here, let them go unlimited basically. So that's the challenge. We're fortunate we've got a lot of cars, and usually the fan support's there, and we can throw some money at it here, but a lot of tracks can't do that. When there's 8, 10, 12 cars going to Salt Lake or Boise, well, they can't split the cars in half and do two purses.
And that's
the challenge.
Yeah, and this was an interesting weekend too, because you had another event that you were sort of competing. Some of the guys who've been here before were elsewhere.
4 or 5 cars that weren't here. Yeah.
So some of the big personalities like Mark Sanders and some of those other guys. In Top Fuel, though, it was a terrific final, and Rick Williamson gets the win over Adam Sorokin. Let's go ahead and show that video of Rick Williamson talking to Mike Griffith. A man of few words, Mr. Williamson, but it was still, the reaction was great. His first win here at Auto Club Famoso Raceway in the March meet. Here, let's go to the video.
Mike Griffith with Rick Williamson, winner of the March meet. Rick, this has to feel sweet.
Yeah, it does. We won the Hot Rod Reunion in 2012. That was pretty cool, but this is way better.
Why is this way better?
We actually outran our competition this time. I mean, and we just hauled ass too. So I mean, it was. I got to thank Mike and Kathy, Craig, the owners of the car. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here in the crew. Without the crew, I couldn't have done what happened.
What's the difference between the numbers this year and the numbers last year? How did you find so much improvement?
The crew, they put their heads together, finally figured out what we were doing wrong and what we needed, and what they did was perfect.
It was perfect. You got in that final. Did you see Sorokin get out of the groove?
No, I never even seen him at all. I never seen him at all. That was the best part. That was the best part.
Be looking for another one come October?
Yeah. No, I was telling, me and Adam were talking that only time I've been in the final is with him 4 times.
All right. Well, that was Rick Williamson who talking about his big win there, and Sorokin had one really magnificent run. He got on a whole shot and just hustled down there and
beat top qualifier Rick White.
Yeah.
And that's what Rick had said in an interview after qualifying on Saturday, that with the 8-car show, now anybody's a player. Usually Rick's going to be in the top 3 or 4 qualifying anyway. And he said now that it's condensed to 8 cars,
there's no buy runs.
There's no buys, there's no gimmies, there's no easy runs that anybody could win, and there it is.
We took a step with that this year, and we upset some guys because they were used to showing up and basically paying at the gate and they're in the race. But
it was a far. I will say at a tour, it was a far better show.
Absolutely,
it was a better show because everybody had to run hard to try to get in. A, and better show B, because that 8-car elimination field was
you couldn't relax.
Action.
You couldn't relax at all. You had, and that's proof. Usually Bartone will go through and get a bye here and there, or they had to run it hard every pair. So that for the fans, they got a really good show.
It was a lot of fun, and I personally like Top Fuel. I think the audacity of those machines is just incredible. So, hey, I want to run through the winners though, and here they were, and we didn't have any Bakersfield guys for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
We had Steve Barter got I think it was runner-up. Yeah, C-Gas runner-up from Bakersfield.
Yeah.
So Rick Williamson, Top Fuel champion. Chris Crabill in Funny Car. Brandon Serafine in NE1, Nostalgia Eliminator 1. By the way, I got to say, the guy he beat in NE1, Hans Jacob, I swear he is always in the final of NE1.
Seems like it.
In March Meet, Reunion, and ANRA. So he is consistently good. Of course, he's also, I think he's a teacher. He teaches drag racing engine building down in Ontario. So I remember that because we interviewed him in 2012. Brandon Serafine, Charlie C in NE2. Ed DeStott, I guess I'm going to say. DeStott in NE3. Jerry Johnson Jr. in A-Gas. Roy Castagnetto in B-Gas. Jim Finn in C-Gas. Ed Carey in D-Gas. And Hot Rod Kirk, is it Camerly? Camerly.
Yeah. And one thing in B-Gas, Val Miller was a runner-up from Bakersfield. Also, last race of the March meet, 8:49 p.m. Sunday.
Yeah, we ran a little late that night to get it done.
A little late, but he was the last car on the track.
And finally, we did have our most viewed video over the weekend was this. This is the fuel-altered crash, which is truly horrifying, but at the same time amazing because both drivers walked away from this. And you can hear it on the video. My Australian friends were calling the action for me. Let's go ahead and play that video. I don't know if that's completely audible or not. You can hear me saying, "Oh, geez," on that. But play that fuel-altered crash for a second there.
That's when you get concerned. You see it tumble over. Like that.
So this is where we slowed it down a little bit. Competition Plus, I will say, had a better video of it than we did because I was so far away. But still, I was able to kind of capture the fact that it was like, wow, that looks very scary.
And that's the problem with those short wheelbase cars is once they get over, they turtle. They're just going to tumble. So, but getting up on the car right in front of the motor, the chassis broke at the right point, and the cage held together, and everything was fine. So I mean, we just transported the one driver just for to be checked up on, and everything was fine.
Everything was fine.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on a great March meet, and again, five for me now.
Yeah.
How many for you, Griffith? 100?
Well, there haven't been 100, but a lot since I started going.
59 next year.
Probably in the mid-60s as a kid. So a lot.
We're going to run through some of these photos. We'll take a break here. I just want to come and remind you, these are all the Tom Mock photos. He did a great job, as usual, with his laser cannon that he has for a flash. If you want to see the videos, go to our Facebook page. We have some on our YouTube channel as well. And I also wanted to say that we have a great interview with Ed the Ace McCullough that Mike did from the Smokers Reunion. And we also have video of Mr. Sorokin telling his story about how he was conceived after the 1966 March meet, which is pretty good too. We'll post that hopefully later today. And again, thanks to everybody at Auto Club Famoso Raceway for your hospitality and for all the good work you guys do out there. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back after these messages.
I was the Metro columnist in the Bakersfield, California.